Thank you, Pooja. Thank you so much. I think it's just the right day to talk about having more women leaders to make our world a better place. But how do you make that a reality? So let's hear about this further from our keynote speaker, Miss Nisha Narayanan. Nisha, over to you.
So thank you for making me a part of this very, very special day, Event FAQ's Power Women Forum conversations. Now, I can't really speak for other industries, but I can say this for media, for marketing, for advertising, that we as an industry have some extremely remarkable and inspiring women leaders who are bold, they take on challenges, and they stand up for very strong values. I've been requested to talk on what will it take to have more women leaders. And the first and foremost thing that comes to my mind is the ability of a woman to believe in what she does and to stand up for what she believes in. Now, this is not an easy ecosystem for a woman. The world around us is extremely brutal. The more we continue to change laws and policies that are anti-women, or change the society's attitude towards women, and fight for gender equality, the more we realize that the fight is going to be an extremely long one, and there is very little that will change overnight. So even as we try and change things, we must also work with what we have, and what we have inherited is a society that is not very kind to women. And perhaps the best way to deal with it is to value yourself a lot more. Don't wait for society to change while you walk the road towards leadership. Focus on building an entire body of work that you are proud of. Stand up for what you believe in. I truly think that it is okay to raise your voice against what you think is wrong. Stand up for yourself and always be fearless. It is not a quality that you develop overnight. It is something that you need to cultivate, and you need to hold on to your value systems both in good times as well as in bad times. Work towards a more inclusive environment, support other women, and help each other grow. And that is extremely important. So as I said before, you see, success, it always comes at a price. Frankly, this whole concept of work-life balance, etc., is quite unknown to me. In fact, in my entire career, I don't remember days or months or even years when I've been able to balance my personal life and professional life. Let us not have any illusions about this. There are times when you will have to sacrifice your time and your personal life and be less of an ideal wife or a mother in the pursuit of your goals, or perhaps even less than a perfect girlfriend. I know this sounds brutal, but then it is what it is. You see, I've not been able to take a long weekend off or read a book peacefully in a very long time, and there are no breaks even when you're not home, because I truly think that leadership is not something where you can switch off at 6 p.m. If you're willing to accept a certain kind of life, and that is what you really choose to do, then go fearlessly and then go all out. The rewards are immense. But then I must also say that those who make different choices are also not wrong, because they're probably just as happy with their choices. There are so many people, in fact, who I know from the corporate world who have quit and are at peace with themselves in their new avatars. They lived these charmed lives among the hills and on the beaches and feel very truly blessed. And you've seen them on Instagram posts. There are days when I envy them. It's all about choices. It is all a choice. It's about what you really want to do with your life, and your goals may change over time, over a period of time. Let's face it, we're the lucky ones. We I think have inherited this social and cultural capital that makes a difference, that gives us an edge. But what makes a greater difference is what you do with it. The whole concept, or rather the equality of opportunity, does not exist in India, not for millions of women. But leadership is not an inheritance, or it's not a gift. As far as I'm concerned, I think it is a trait, a quality in everything that you do. Leadership is not a position. it is a process. And when you realize that, the fact that it is not a position and that it is a process, your journey will be far, far more fulfilling. Perhaps the two things that you should ask yourself, or rather the two questions that you must ask yourself is what are you really willing to give up? And what are you willing to fight for? These are your two important questions which you need to really arrive at. So you should choose your battles as carefully as you choose your sacrifices. Do not give up everything. Do not fight for everything. Remember the Serenity prayer? It says, give me the strength to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Thank you so much.
Let's get this conversation started. First up, I want to ask you, please take us through your journey. Also, tell us what were the thoughts at the beginning of the career, of your career, in regard to this leadership role that you took up.
I think when you start your career, you really don't know what really leadership is all about. You actually look around you, you get inspired by people who are working with you, who are far more senior to you, etc. But then I think from a very young age, I've always felt that leadership is a thought process. I mean, I think it's an attitude. It's a thinking process. It's a way of life, and it's not just about position. You can be anybody, but then if you have a vision, you have a thought process, you do challenge, what's happening perhaps in the society sometimes, maybe a rebellious thought, for instance, for a good cause, not just for the sake of being a rebel, but maybe for a good cause. All of that, I think, to me, put together what leadership would mean to me.
What were some of the challenges that you had to face to reach where you are today? And has your perspective towards leadership changed over the years? Would you like to share some anecdotes?
Well, I don't know about anecdotes, but in terms of challenges, as I said that in my talk as well, that the world continues to be brutal. It was brutal back then; it's brutal even right now. I don't think much has changed, and the struggles are very real. Perhaps what we really need to do is to change our attitude towards the way we approach our life. And if you ask me about challenges, sometimes I think that it's maybe a little easier to reach a position of a leadership position, whatever we define it as, either a CEO or a COO. But what may be more challenging and more difficult is to be there in that position and consistently perform as a leader. And I think that's the most challenging work that is there. And I think it's not just about women, it's for men as well, right? It's for all of us. Reaching a leadership position is perhaps a little easier than maintaining that position. And to me, that's where we need to be consistent, we need to be persistent, and we need to be fearless. That's probably how I would like to look at things.
In today's workspace, as we speak in 2021, what are the clear barriers that women face exclusively, and how are you taking care of that at Red FM?
At Red FM, we're a creative team. Obviously, there's a lot of creative people, from the office boy to the sales team to the creative team. Everyone thinks they're creative, and they're also possessive about their creative ideas, etc. So it's a passion which is all around, right? And I think one of the things that gets that everybody gets blamed for is that there's too much of emotional quotient if there are too many women working there. Now, I don't think that's a negative at all. I mean, I take it in our stride, because to me, most of our senior guys in our team at Red FM are all women leaders. And I think it also comes with a lot of passion, also a lot of ownership, a lot of responsibility, and a lot of emotional quotient attached to the work that they do. But it's okay. I'm just saying that as long as we work within those boundaries, and as long as we know as business heads that they're passionate about what they're doing, I think you should give them the credit. And all they need is a lot of encouragement and support, and knowing that we have their back, and they perform. So at Red, we've been glad to have many people who's both men and women who've spent more than 8 to 10 years in the company. They've been having a lot a lot to do at Red FM, and maybe we're doing something right to have them for such a long time. Especially, most of these industries, you see that people are not serving that company more than 2 to 3 years. So it's good to see. A workplace where people are there for more than 8 to 10 years. And that's because they're passionate, they're loyal. A lot of them are women. And the good part about having a lot of women in the team is also because whenever there's a lot of friction, they're also able to dissolve it very quickly, and they're able to sort of negate the friction a lot better. They are great solution providers. They try and work around things, etc. So there are a lot of positives to have a lot of women in the office. And it's also good that, unlike other industries, or quite a number of industries, the media, marketing, advertising space has a lot of women working there. So it's really heartening to have.
According to you, what are the measures we can take? What are the changes we can make to ensure equality, but also to make sure that there's more women leadership across companies and across sectors?
I think it's so important to instill a sense of fearlessness there. You have to cultivate women leaders within your organizations. Training is so important. Giving them the ability to work fearlessly, to allow them to take some risks, because you learn from your mistakes, you learn from experience, etc. As long as they're not terrible mistakes. But I do think that creative freedom, or that operational space to work and to allow them to believe, what they do, to stand up for certain value systems is also important. And I think as leaders, any business head or any organization should encourage all their employees, women and men, to do this. And that's the only way people will grow.
Tell us about your life mantras, things that you used to tell yourself through thick and thin.
Consistency, fearlessness, take risks. Don't fret about the fact that there is no work-life balance. I spoke about it, because I think it's an illusion that you'll be able to create a work-life balance, etc. So there are no real mantras. Work hard, be consistent with what you do, and build a team. And I can say this very proudly for Red FM, that all the work that we do is not because of me or because of the leader or people like us. It's largely because of the team that drives it, who's spirited, who's enthusiastic, who's passionate, and who believes. There's not one day that passes by without anybody in the team coming in and fighting for what they believe, what they think is right and what we should be doing. So I think create a great environment of people who think ahead, who are the future leaders of the country.
What is your message to the young woman out there who is set out and wants to be a leader?
I think I just answered this, which is to choose your battles carefully, right? I think choose your battles, choose what is worth fighting for. You cannot be fighting anything and everything. Choose wisely and stand up for belief systems, be fearless, speak out if you think there's something wrong, and be consistent about it. There's nothing wrong in that. And I think that would be all. And believe in yourself. And just the only thing I reiterated earlier as well when I was talking, and even now, that leadership is not a designation and it is not a position. I've heard people say that, I want to become a CEO. Of what? Of what, right? But if you know what you really love to do, if you know that this is what I really want to do, this is my area of work, this is my passion point, you want to be a CEO of what you really love to do? Yes. But just becoming a CEO or having a vision of just wanting to be a CEO doesn't make sense. So leadership is not really a position to me. It continues to be a process. It is something that you live, breathe in as a daily mantra. And that's very important. And that's how it should be always.
Okay, what if we give you a time travel machine? If there was time travel possible, which historic event would you like to go and live and watch and witness?
Well, I don't really want to kind of respond to it in a very linear fashion, but let me try and see how to kind of answer this. Yeah, so a few days ago, there was a UN post, and it spoke about respecting women at work, home, politics, online, in science, on the road, just about everywhere. Now, this is 2021. Now, in the year 1913, about 100 and odd 108 years ago, Emmeline Pankhurst, the British suffragette, she made a speech called Freedom or Death. And she was fighting for women's right to vote. Now, this was the beginning of the last century. Now, when I say fought, she really, really fought. So, the suffragette movement in Britain was unusually aggressive, and Emmeline Pankhurst spoke to crowds from a stretcher. She broke out of jail. She got smuggled into lecture halls to avoid the police and had arrest warrant out for her a number of times. So, when she made her speech, which is Freedom or Death, she was dodging an arrest warrant back in, back home. So during the year and a half before this famous speech, she was jailed about 12 times in Britain, and she spent most of her jail time on a hunger strike. And as Pankhurst says in her speech, and you must all read that up whenever you get the time, that you cannot make omelets without breaking eggs. And that is so true, because 108 years later, we still seem to be fighting for basic rights for women, including respect, and that is absolutely unfortunate. So I don't know about witnessing historical events, but if you actually look at it, we're still struggling and we're still fighting wars to find some basic rights like respect for women in all spheres of life.
Thank you, everybody. That is all from me, Prajakta Kori. Have a good day.